Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with Daily Technical Update. It is Wednesday the 22nd of October and the overall picture on Nasdaq 100 is that it didn't really move much last night or yesterday in US, but looking at the semiconductor industry, most of them took a little bit of a beating. A little bit mixed pictures across the board, and if we're looking at the semiconductor index was actually down 1.3%, with some of them down 13%, and Nvidia, well, Nvidia was down almost 1%, so not that much, but it was so a little bit bad for the semiconductors, but the overall index more or less unchanged. Here pre-market we're taking up a little bit, but not much to talk about. On the S&P 500, well, also almost unchanged, but of course there was some other stocks out there that moved a bit. It is the earnings season, but nothing to talk much about. The Dow Jones index was actually pretty good last night, off of about 0.5%, to spike to new all-time high and new all-time high close. So a statement there for some of the big caps. It was primarily Amazon up 2.5% that lifted the market. In Asian session, the Seng index back below 26,000, so couldn't really follow through. Spiked above here the 26,290 resistance yesterday, but couldn't follow through, and is now back here. So really in a little bit bearish picture with a negative sentiment on the RSI, but still holding on above the cloud. So also mixed picture there, 55 moving average around that level. Excuse me. So it will be key. Can it bounce back here the next few days, or will it slide lower towards 25,000? Nikkei, well, it's taking a breather after the future at least spiked above 50,000. The CAS index, unfortunately I don't have data for that, but the CAS index didn't move all the way above 50,000. We are a bit stressed on the Nikkei index, as you can see. RSI divergence, RSI declining, where market moved higher. So a little bit stressed there. So I think it will be maybe a little bit of volatility, but I think we'll slide back here the next few days. However, if it takes out 50,000, well, then it is a statement of further upside. We had a new higher close on EuroStoxx50 yesterday, but intraday really not much to talk about. We opened and closed more or less in the same position. RSI declined here, meaning we are a little bit stressed, but again, trust the trend. So I think we could push higher in the coming weeks. The pre-markets are basically unchanged, as we can see, and the DAX index flirting with the 61.8 retracement and the resistance there at 24,340. A close above and a close above RSI 60 threshold. Well, then we are confirming a bullish trend. I think we will get it eventually. After this strong bounce here, we are above the cloud, we are above 55 moving average and the 100 pre-market. Not much to talk about, but again here also it's flirting with the 61.8 retracement. On the euro dollar, a little bit lower yesterday. Negative sentiment. We are in a bearish trend. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and will we get a lower low? I believe we will. The 115 could come under pressure, possibly lower. And I will actually add a little bit of horizontal line to here. You can see more or less in the same price. 115.40. It's more interesting than this one. So 115.40. If it's taking out, then we are looking at 114. Sterling dollar also weaker, lower low, lower high, and so on. Also in a bearish trend. I still believe we will see it down in this region around 132, possibly a lower. Negative sentiment support in the negative picture or the bearish picture. We are in below the cloud. We are below the moving averages, apart from the 200 come up here. So I think we'll see it being tested and then bounce. Euro sterling trying once again to bounce. Hasn't even been successful, so it is still the range here, 86.55, 87 and a quarter. Dollar yen pausing a little bit after breaking above the 61.8 retracement there, but I think we will see it pushing higher towards the 786 retracement, 152.43, 44, and possibly higher. RSI is telling us that is positive, no divergence, indicating we will see higher levels on dollar yen. So in a few weeks' time, I wouldn't be surprised to see it up here, possibly faster than that. The euro yen spiked high yesterday, but set back almost all the way to the 61.8 retracement, but it's still a bounce. RSI flirting with the 60 threshold, but it's already in a positive sentiment, and I don't think there's any divergence indicating we are likely to see higher levels. If it takes out the peak from yesterday at 176.62, then expect a move up to 177 and a quarter, the 786 retracement there. More or less same picture on Aussie yen. I think we'll see it testing 99.15 fairly shortly. Positive sentiment on the RSI, no divergence indicating higher levels, and I think we could see it pushing towards 100 here in the next possibly next few days. Sterling yen got rejected there at 203.50, where we also have the 61.8 retracement lying around. If it takes that out, which I believe it will, also a positive sentiment here, which I believe it will, and if we get RSI to close back above 60 threshold, well, then there is a potential to 204.30, possibly higher. Aussie dollar, well, a lot of noise, a lot of volatility, but it doesn't really move anywhere. It's below the 100 and the 55 moving average. Can't really get its mojo back here, and we do have negative sentiment, so the pressure is to the downside. We are also below the cloud, but we should bounce, but can't really make up its mind. 64.40, if it takes out that, well, then I think we will also take out 64 down here, 64.15, but for now it's just range bounce, and could bounce up to the 65.35, possibly up to the 61.8 retracement there, just below the cloud, just around to 65.55. So really without direction at the moment, a clear direction. Dollar Canada, well, now it's give way, and seems to me that we'll have a correction that could take it down to the 38.2 retracement at 139.45. If it moves back below 139.30, well, then it has established a bearish trend, but I'm not quite sure it will do that. But it is not unlikely, so keep it on. But anyway, we will see it slightly lower here after breaking the rising trend line, after taking out this minor support here. A correction is in the cards. Moving on to sterling Canada, that couldn't push higher there and is now turning around. So what we can do, and that was basically, you can say, a false break. It wasn't really convincing, but again, this I wouldn't trade this. Sterling Canada is such a frustrating one to trade, and now we are 786 retracement is likely to be tested, and then maybe a bounce or could fall all the way down here to these lows. It is one of the hardest I have ever predicted or trying to read. That is sterling Canada. Yes, we are in a slightly uptrend, but it's just not really worth it. I think it's just frustrating to watch. But I think we'll see a bounce from 186.35 there. On the Swiss franc, expect a bounce after forming this bullish engulfing actually, which is rare to see. I think we'll see a bounce up to 92.70, possibly higher. If it takes out the low there, well, then I expect lower levels and exhaustion. We are a little bit exhausted mood here, but I think we'll see a bounce there. Dollar Swiss almost hit the 50% retracement in this bounce here. I think it will continue up to 80 level, the 61.8 retracement, and the upper part of cloud, and the 55 moving average, and then a setback. I will remove this now because now it's just silly to keep it. And also this one cleaning up a little bit. Sometimes we have to do that. You can see how it bounced from the 786 retracement. I think we could see it up to 61.8. I'm not quite sure we'll get up to 786 there, but 61.8 I do believe. If it takes out the lows there from a few days ago, well, then expect lower levels below 78. The dollar index also bounce at the 61.8 retracement currently. I think we'll see it to 786 retracement, just around 99. Could see it higher because positive sentiment on the RSI, no divergence, indicating actually higher levels above this peak here at 99.31. So that could come into play and possibly also towards 100. Moving on to gold and metals in general that got beaten yesterday, really profit taking, and everybody wanted to get out the same small door yesterday. Apparently suddenly there were no buyers left, and a massive move yesterday, and also continued throughout the morning below the 786 retracement at 4,038. It dipped to just above 4,000 there, and then a massive bounce, a very strong bounce indeed. So let's see, we almost got down to the 38.2 retracement of the entire uptrend there. So really some movements that is I would say lethal here in gold. What you can do if you're really a very short-term trader, you could add the Fibonacci there. So you see, okay, we are actually at 38.2 retracement on the very short term. Could it bounce further up to 61.8 up here? Possibly it could do that. If it takes out the lows there, then also at 4,004, then I also think we'll see it pushing below 39.44 here, where we have some support. The silver dipped to the 38.2 retracement of the entire uptrend there at 47.50. I think we talked about it yesterday. It could do that. So now you can also add one on the other way. Okay, so what we move to, possibly up to just above $50, possibly even up to 51.70, well, up to 51.80. This the 61.8 retracement. But let's see, it's not sure. Maybe the CAD is out of sack here, and we are going to have a larger correction. If it takes out the lows from this morning, well, then expect a push down to around $45. Platinum also helped by sell-off, dipped this morning to 50% of this entire uptrend there. Could continue if it takes out the lows today. Well, then we're looking at 14.37, 14.40 here, and the 61.8 retracement. But I think it will bounce, and you can also hear, if you're trading this crazy metal spot instrument there, I think we could see a bounce up to 15.84 with the 38.2 retracement. If it moves back above the peak from yesterday, well, then it's back in the bullish trend. Copper, on the other hand, in broader picture, well, it was a little bit lower yesterday, but still between 482 and 515. 515 it needs to close above for establishing a bullish trend. On the crude oil energy market, we have a bit of a bounce here, as we can see. You can see we are playing with these lows here from May earlier this year, and let's see where we are. If we can get some meaningful out of this, yeah, we could bounce up to around $60. I wouldn't be surprised to see that, which is around the 38.2 retracement also. Brent, same picture really. Already flirting with the minor resistance there. It's not much to talk about really. That's the previous support. I think I will delete because I think it's a little bit obsolete now. We can push it over here. I think we can see a push up to around $64. The 38.2 retracement is just around that level. European nat gas, not much to say, so I'll do it very quickly. Still this range bound here. US nat gas spiked just to a few pips below the peak and resistance here at 358, 359, and then a setback I think we will see it being broken, but maybe not now. We a little bit of a setback, and then I have another go. But it's really a key resistance that should be observed and taken into account. The US 10-year Treasury yields, well, it's still in a bearish trend. I think we could see a counter trend, especially after that spike down there. But we are a medium, and let's move to the weekly there. We are in a bearish trend, and we could see it down to the around the 200 moving average coming up there, and the 384 lows there. It seems like we are headed that way. So lower yields in the US. On the European yields, where are we? There we are. Also still under pressure, and we shouldn't be sorry about that. Should we have another go at this support here? Most likely, if it doesn't break it, then I'm quite confident we'll see a counter trend or a bounce. If it takes it out, well, then we could be looking at 244, 243 down here. UK, more or less the same picture. Didn't bounce much, so still in this bearish trend here, and could dip to 438. The Japanese 10-year, well, also a little bit setback there. Still in the broader picture, a bullish trend, but it has been a little bit challenged with when it took out these lows there. But in the broader picture, it's still in a bullish trend. If it takes out the little peak there from a few days ago at 168, then I think uptrend will resume, and also possibly take out 171. The crypto market, a lot of volatility the past 24 hours on Bitcoin, but couldn't really get back, or it needs to get back over here. Let's actually add a horizontal line to it so we can see where it is right there. 160,078. If it gets above that, then I think we'll see uptrend resume. But for now, we are still under pressure. The Ethereum really not doing much, not much movement at the moment. So it is still under pressure also here. It needs to get back above the 4,296 level right there. Let's also add a, there we are. We need to get back above that to establish a bullish trend. All right, that's all for today. Have a nice day, and talk to you again later.